In a few seconds, you'll see it right there.
All right, so
Welcome, guys, man. Another Wednesday. Do you believe that?
another Wednesday.
Another Wednesday,
Another
man. It seems
Wednesday.
like yesterday we popped up episode 3. This is episode 4. The title Men Down here in Breaking Bray.
Breaking bread.
Breaking
I
Bray.
know, breaking
Oh
bread was great.
man.
So okay, so let's just start right there where we're at. So it's been a rough week, right? We went through Resurrection Weekend, right? We went through
Hmm.
Easter. Everybody's been through a lot of life. My cousin Trina, I love you. I hope you're watching this right off the start. She went back and watched it. She was suffering from COVID. We talked about that last week, and she was in the hospital by herself. And I got a chance to just chit chat with her, but she's home, man. She's home, so she's not doing so bad.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. So there you go. So man down. That, like I said, a lot of stuff coming this week. As you can see, it's just me and Jesus.
Just me and Ray.
It's
I'm
just-
oh my goodness, it's me and Charles. This
See,
sucks, right?
He's
It's
gonna
like,
start calling you a racist.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's me and Charles today, no Ray. That's why it's called Men Down.
Yeah,
on
man
Breaking
down.
Bread.
So we don't know exactly what's wrong with Ray. We can get into conspiracies, but his work was giving out vaccines this week, is what he told me. So yeah, vaccines for the week, and he said he had not taken one, and he's not feeling so well. So his wife feels like it's a good idea for him to stay home and not participate for the evening. So man down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that can relate in a lot of different ways, spiritually, mind, body, soul. A lot of what we talked about says a man down, and we even discussed tonight throughout the middle of the day when we found out about possibly not even doing the show tonight.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
But I think that I pushed, and I even called a few extra people, see if I get them to chip in. Nobody wanted to come in, and not that people didn't want to come in. The people who actually could have came in that I was hoping for, their lives are busy, so that's what happens. But we're going to make sure to get them on that schedule because we've talked about it long
Oh,
enough,
yeah.
right? So no longer just sitting around talking about it. What we've learned the past couple of weeks, we're not going to sit around and talk about it, and we're going to persevere. We're going to push forward. So I felt like if we would have let the show go today and not taken it,
You
the
can't.
week, what was it, week of spring break? I think we took. Week of spring
Yeah,
break
we took a
was
week
two.
off.
Week
It
two.
was
Week
like
two
the
was the first time we
17th.
took a
Yeah,
break.
the week
So
2.
taking that break, excuse me, man. I finally had a beer. It's been a rough, hard week, and if you don't understand by now, the theme of this is it's Hump Day. It's the middle of the week. The reason we call it Breaking Bread is to sit down, take a break for a minute, right? Chill with your buddies. Um, you know, that's going to apply as the show grows into a lot of different areas that we're going to talk about. But the basis it is of men need a friend.
Yeah,
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 you
we
need a
do.
buddy.
We need a buddy.
And whether it's a gym buddy or somebody who is in the church keeping you, on track, or a work buddy,
Or a work buddy.
or a business partner. Like all those things can kind of come into effect, but everybody needs somebody.
Isn't it funny today? I woke up and though that feeling of the spirit when you wake up and you don't feel like doing anything, and the bad spirit is there because when I got to the office, everything that I was doing it wasn't supposed to
almost like
be.
you wake up and everything tells you today's a failure. Just
And
go
I
back
was
to
doing
sleep.
stuff in the computer, like trying to download videos and they didn't even go through. And I
Yeah.
was getting pissed at myself. I was really getting mad. I was like, oh, it's not the day. I woke up already like this, and I was like, hold on, wake up. Man.
Mm-mm.
I was like, I cannot be fighting with
But
myself
that's the
with
day.
this shit.
See, but where's that day start at? The dedication, like Ray says, you just get up and go. If the day you don't want to go to the gym, get up and go. The day you don't want to go to church, get up and go. The day you don't want to get up and put those extra 10 or 15 minutes in. If you're not willing to put that time in, then you're not really willing to be an overcomer and a champion. You're not putting the work in.
You're not.
No. And so today, being down Ray, it's like today, I'm telling you, Ray, I love you. I hope you're watching online. It's like being at the gym without my workout partner, right? I had a total plan of how we thought things were going to go. I already came in thinking, man, I want to mix it up a little bit today. I want to do something different. And when you have to do that on your own and you're stepping into a place that you're not really knowing that you're comfortable, it's not an easy place to be, right?
No, it's not.
That's why I said this podcast. We started off. Like I said, we did. Let's back up a little bit, not to go too far too soon. We did get a chance to open the new shop up to the public on Saturday. You got to show up. The stuff was on Breaking Bread. If you haven't, let me give myself a plug. We have shirts available in boxes. We'll ship them to you for $30. Come see me personally. You can pick up your shirt and sticker for $20 and save yourself some money. So
$20, guys.
please come out and see us. If nothing else, find out where the location is. You never know what's going to happen. And if you find yourself on this side of town, it's on a Wednesday night. Mi casa, su casa, the doors are open. this is where we're going to be, and our purpose is driven by the fact that whether you realize if we're there with you or here, if you're in our presence, you're always welcome to where we are. So I want to kind of make sure we start.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
We
definitely.
started the show a couple of weeks ago. Had no idea really where we were going, how we're going to work some things out. There's some still technical difficulties that I, as a perfectionist, which follows over into my work today, you know, everything's just been it's been one thing after another, the move and everything else, and then uh, yeah, shoot, man, when I got into the weekend, right, Easter,
No.
I know,
How
Easter,
was that Easter for you Sunday?
it we went to church that morning, and I felt like the sermon was right on spot.
Hmm.
I felt like it hit me in the place it needed to. When we finished cleaning out the shop, if you guys can see, things have kind of changed. We're staggered up. We got some projects going on. We've got really good feedback on some of the cars that we've got. Um, but Sunday we closed up the shop for the last time. You know,
And you did put right
yeah.
there, right?
Well,
That
yeah,
Sundays you're gonna be closed
yeah,
Sundays.
closed Sundays, closed Sundays. We are going to have church services here on Sunday afternoon, open car lot from like 3 to 6. People who want to attend a different kind of church and something I feel like people have been looking for, by all means, if what we have to say or do affects you or affects anybody around you, show up. Come try it out. It's like going to the gym for the first time. You don't really know if you're going to like it or not, but come give it a couple of weeks, man. Try it out, see how you're feeling. Because I can tell you that all that we really try to do here, whether it's in the business or whatever we're doing, we're trying to make sure that we push that um, all around our life. To be there for other people. We're trying to give back. So I'm grateful. The churches we've been going to has been so welcoming. And if you haven't realized, all of this kind of spurred out of the change in my life that happened to start with is when I really got over my fear and started going on by myself. And I think it kind of all builds with the show, no matter how you look at it. So we're gonna figure out what we're doing. We're working it out. Um, a couple gentlemen I talked today will be coming on the show to show
Love
up.
that. Yeah.
But the cool thing is, back to the shop. Uh, Me and my son are walking out, right? It's a very emotional moment. If you've ever had to move, right, you're emotionally tied to something. I don't care what it is, whether it's a good move, bad move, it's a divorce, separation. Like, a move is a move is a move. I personally have not been so happy to move since I was a kid. That is the most amazing thing about my life. Like, I definitely feel renewed. I feel younger, letting go of some fears. But we're walking out of the shop, and we look back, and I just looked at Alan and I was like, the shop is empty. The tomb is empty. That place where we came from, who we were, and everything. That's a daily reminder when I walk into the shop.
Mm.
And so yeah, Easter Sunday was huge, and I wrote that. I was kind of feeling that, like, hey man, come make it an awesome resurrection weekend. I am truly thankful for everybody who was a part of my last weekend. So thank you all. Thank you for all the love and support. But
And especially in grand opening day, what was good, man? The
that was
food
awesome.
and everything. I'm
And the
telling
thing
you.
is, as great as it was, there were some problems in the background. There's always some problems. Some of the food didn't come out right.
Oh
Some
yeah.
auto cookers,
Keenan?
So well. And the thing is, we're gonna make up for that, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Establishing the shop every 3 months, we're going to throw the same kind of grand opening party, uh, you know, every weekend here, and tying that together, I know some ministers who are going to be traveling who are actually be here on the weekends for it. So,
Mm.
you'll have the car show, the opportunity to be here for the weekend. Like I said, we're trying to use the property for all that we can, more than just a place to
And
stay,
that's
right?
genius.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so.
That's yeah, because you're trying to do that. You're trying to get that network in here, meeting other people here in Katy. Just
Oh.
like when we began, you said we want to create that power here in Katy
We're trying to get 100, but we're looking for the one.
for that one.
We're looking for the one.
And we just went today, 113 members now.
It's
So
not
today,
113.
yeah, it was a lady from Ohio today that joined in the group.
Yeah, who it was?
I forgot her name.
We're
Which
going to go back. We're going to go back and
Yeah.
thank you because you're number 113.
you're number eight, and that's a number
Send
3.
Us, yeah.
Man,
Send us your info. I'll send you a shirt and some stickers from the shop. Go ahead and get that out to you.
yeah. If you're hearing us, I approved it. You were 113. I forgot who you were, but we'll definitely see it because I saw that it was from Ohio. So
So let me see who do we have on here. What's the show saying today? Shooting by 3. We're down a little bit. Keenan as always.
yeah, thank you, Keenan.
The food this weekend. Hamburgers though.
Oh man, I can't.
Hamburgers.
I don't know where he got that meat, dude.
Mm.
That
Ray dropped off 10 pounds of that hamburger meat that we've been eating off of and we're making chili from.
damn, because I ate so much that day.
The hamburger was ridiculous. Cheesy potatoes.
Oh, I ate.
Cheesy potatoes. Yeah.
I didn't need the tres leches though. Did you had some left
No,
over?
no. Actually, a little bit left because I've been snacking on
I
it all
couldn't.
week.
I was waiting to like my stomach full down, and I was like, let me try a little bit of that tres leches. I couldn't, man.
Yeah,
I couldn't eat that.
Good-
I ate hot dogs, the
good time.
burger, the thing. I ate everything. Like I think
We
3
had a good
times.
crowd.
And we had a good crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good crowd. People came through all day long.
Oh
They-
yeah.
We got to a crowd. We established a crowd. We maintained a crowd. And I think people, the last customer that day who was interested in seeing the shop, it was about, I don't know, every bit about 8:30, I guess, before he finally showed up.
Hmm.
So, not that I wouldn't be here anyway. You know, I'm already at the shop. But
You're already at the shop. Yeah,
sure was
true.
nice. Like I said, sure was nice. So, I guess since we're on that too, like I said, the Ray really wanted me to plug the shop.
Yeah.
And I notice every week he's on, so I'm gonna do Ray's job for a second. I'm gonna plug the shop in my best Ray impression that I possibly can pull.
I hope you're watching, Ray, man. You gotta put some comments.
Anyhow, so what most people don't realize is that the section of the shop that you see behind us, it is the home of Lucky Chucky's Chop Shop. And the thing is that all these areas are being set up for service bays. I don't know if the camera's catching it, but we do have our second lift that come in, and I'm in love with it. Right, things built in 1947. I like something that's got a little bit of age on it. The 67 convertible, we got some feedback. We know we're going to be doing some work on it. Mario Sandoval's car here is a good friend of mine. We're going to be buttoning up what needs to be done on it as we move through. But slow and steady, right? A slow and steady pace, whether people were there or they were not there. Back to the Easter weekend, it kind of pulled together for me because, when Jesus got to the point that he had so many supporters and followers, you got to remember, he got to the point where he felt like a man down too.
Yeah.
And it's all about that choice to get up, knowing do the right thing from the wrong thing or whatever. Not everybody's going to agree with the choices that you make in life, right? So if you're wearing the mask, not wearing the mask, if race, however this has come down that we're without a person, there's going to come a time where you feel alone, right? We've all experienced it. We've all gone through it, right? So what have you personally done in your own life to push past points where you felt like you were a man down and you had nowhere else to turn? You got God on your side, right? And if you hadn't, and that's not an experience you went through, then I think for most of us, when you really find that you're a man down, you're hurt, you feel like you're drowning in life and you can't go anywhere, and you look up, there's somebody there, right? Like if you're looking, then it's Christ that's there for you. Then he still sends you help, right? You always end up in a helper. He didn't send anybody out by themselves. He always sent them 2 by 2. So when you're alone and you feel like you're down and you know you got God in your back pocket, right? But you got somebody. You got a friend you talk to, right? You got somebody you talk to. If that person is not available and around, that's usually what I think brings about the roughest days.
It is.
Yeah. Without your best friend. And that can be at work, right? If you're a husband at home, I know there's women who watch this. Please, guys, try to be that person at home to each other that, be that support person, not that hurt person. Hurt people.
Yeah.
So,
and I think I was talking to a guy in the Dads of Houston group, Eric, today. And then what's his name?
Dads of Houston. We don't talk about that enough either.
Yeah, Dads of Houston. Shout out to Dads of Houston, Eric, and we'll be having an event in the 17th over there at my office for marriage counseling.
Marriage counseling.
So this is only for men, no women, only men. So you're invited too.
Cool.
So this is gonna be great for.
Yeah, because whether you're married or not, single or not, if it's the ideology that you probably should be following, I think that that's a good idea. So
and there's some young people there too.
Take that link, post it.
Definitely.
We'll make sure that's posted.
Yeah, we'll definitely make that posted, and I'll talk to both. I know we're having a meeting next week with them, and because there want to be a lot of men in there, but we don't have enough people in to fit it in the conference. But hey, that's fine.
So Keenan said, proud of you guys, went ahead and made this show happen today. Really appreciate that. Keenan, since we've talked about it, I can see the response. We'll back up. And so Keenan, I'm gonna need you to write down in that comment section, since you're watching, and I'm sure you will even later. Would you please schedule yourself to be on here so we know what Wednesday you're coming?
Yeah, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Preston Spates, he's another one. I like to make sure he is.
Yeah.
And so what about video?
I like him.
I've had a few people ask me about video conferencing. Whoever just said, hey, we can't see you, you got to go register.
Oh, Facebook. Facebook, the one that says Facebook user, guys. When we went live, it sent the link right there on the bottom. Is gonna say, "Hey, StreamYard, click here."
Yeah,
So
click on the StreamYard.
click on that little StreamYard link, and we'll be able to see who you are. It's simple. Come on.
I'm
Man.
glad people are watching.
I know, man, and I'm glad
it's
y'all
gotta grow
watching,
from
and thank you
somewhere.
guys, and whoever's watching it, y'all know the love,
So,
share it.
Preston Spates.
Yeah,
He's
I like
another one.
Preston.
I'd like to get him
Yes.
on.
Is he the one that did the sticker?
Yes, yeah. He did the logos on it. You know, we worked on the website. Let me tell you. Okay, so personalized this week, right? For being a man down. I want to talk to you about not being a victim of your own man down. Yeah, I thought about it. We've had some pretty in-depth conversations since it's just you and me. Let's talk about that for just a minute, if you don't mind.
I just want to help.
Who
is the
Facebook?
Facebook
No,
user?
that's Dean.
That's Dean?
Oh my gosh.
All right, that you knew.
I love that. Yeah, see, that's how you know somebody. I don't need to know that. I know something about you. Dean, I was an assistant boss at one time anyway, and Dean's a new hire that day. My boss is on vacation, right? So we're a man down. And Dean comes in. I'm like, I'm dealing with this bearing, right? It's like $10,000. It's for a CNC machine. We really can't screw this thing up. And I'm like, whatever you do, there's two rules when you work with me, right? I don't care if it's in my shop, out of my shop, wherever. If I'm working on it, I'm working on it. The minute you decide that you know it's better than me and you touch it, it becomes yours, and it's not my problem. I go in, I sit down in the office. A few minutes later, I hear this tink, 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 tink. Bearings go everywhere, bounce all over the place. It was horrible. And my heart just sunk because the guys knew. I know he's there. He's just trying to help out because we're in maintenance, right? But he just screwed up something that's taken us months to finally get a part for. And my bosses are going to kill me if I don't put this thing back together. And I go out there to rip his head off. And Dean's somebody who knows me when I used to be a real jerk. And I'm screaming at him. And he looks at me with his big Sideshow Bob hairdo and goes, I'm just trying to help. And I lost it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, you know what, man, just set it aside. And I'll go back and I'll fix it later. So I was able to fix it. My boss come back to work. Two of us not being a man down, we was able to get it done.
But that topic, man, you were mentioning, and in my head is going like, you can break it down in so many. Yeah, I know we're missing Ray and it's man down, but you could probably
it's all relatable.
It's all
if you really, I went to the church Bible study last night, right? Me and my son have been attending. I want to say this is week 8, something like that. And I honestly and openly, I've talked about it in there. I'm a person, if I talk about it in private, I'm going to talk about it in public. Like if we, there's when you got to know when to talk and when not, right? And I told him, I was like, I'm going to go back through this after I'm done. I'm going to take this class a second time, right? And I said, because honestly, it kind of almost feels like I'm skipping through the grades because I was raised in the way that I was, right? I really felt blessed. And I thought, it'd be easy to be overly confident and just skip through it and go to the next course. But me being me, I'm like, I already told him in the group. I said, I'm coming back to repeat this thing, right? But when I didn't tell them, I said, I find every week that I wait for the day of the lesson, right? I want that daily bread. Like you're trying to teach me that day. I'm not trying to have the day before bread or the day after bread. I'm trying to have the bread exactly that day. And I found that I want to go there and sit down because God knows I like to talk, right? But I do a little quick read like college, right? I'm gonna skim through. I know the subject. I did great in high school. I'm gonna be just fine. But every week it's like it's something different that I'm learning that day. I see they become applicable in my life, and I do spend the entire following week changing it, right? And this week's lesson was about God's God's living word, right? The way that the Bible is a living word. You can read it. It's it brings itself to life. It's God's spoken word over your life and everything else, right? I think what people sometimes miss out on is I think God's talking to you all the time. I think it's when you're walking around and something happens and that scripture plays back in your mind, that tells you that you have a decision point, right? You can do right, you can do wrong, or maybe you're encouraged or need to feel encouraged, or maybe you need to make a choice about something in your life. And the scripture comes to you and you're like, wow, I really should do that. And then you go the other way, right? Like you read it and you go down the wrong route. And then, we joke about it, say, oh, when God gives you a sign, like stop. You already knew that you should have stopped.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. And so you're left in a situation. You're a man down. Right? So now you got to make a choice. Do you persevere and go on?
That's true.
Right? And so many, I'm saying, so for me as a person, so many scriptures tie together for my daily living. And then I go there and I find this every week. And I told him, I said, I like it. I want to get to the end. And then I kind of want to go back, kind of like rewatching a movie and pick up the pieces that I missed. Because honestly, I've been so overwhelmed and blessed while I've been running forward. Some people, I think they think if you don't take time out and stop and thank God, bro, I'm going to tell you right now, look around this place.
No.
I came from a place that I should have died. Like the business should have been over. Everything should have been done by now. When everybody else said I was a man down. The tomb is empty.
Tomb is empty.
Yeah. And so that's what the big basis of everything that we're, trying to teach here, trying to hand out, because we have some cool conversations. Ray told you when we first met you, when we all first met, he goes, all right, this ain't the same, you guys can have that conversation, but we have some very in-depth and intelligent conversation. And I think a lot of people are afraid to have those kind of conversations. Like they're afraid to reach out and find out that the other guy's a man down too.
Mm.
You're missing out on some good friendships, right? So,
true.
So Wednesday, I lost my internet again. This thing, I got to get a new one, right? Thank God that we're going to see that. We're going to see a new one come in.
New everything.
New everything.
I know. I knew everything, man.
It's a whole new life.
It's
a whole new life. And I again, going through previous episodes where I was talking about, most people went through COVID-19 and they forgot how to live. And for me, I got to a spot that said, man, I'm done being afraid of everything. What's the worst thing going to happen? I fail? Because I'm the kind of person that if I fail, I make sure that I learned a lesson from my mistake.
Yeah.
And even to the point that I'm guilty in my life of sitting down and making trial pieces over and over again. I learned to bend the one piece of tubing for a car. It took me 14 tries. 14 times I had to put that thing in a bender and use it. And people said, well, why don't you just change tubing or go to something else? I said, I have a tool in my shop that I don't know how to work properly. And you're not a master of your craft unless you completely understand it. And that's applicable to studies in the Bible, or whether you're at college or it's bodybuilding or it's gardening or whatever you're doing. If you're not willing to go that one extra step to know how to use every tool that you already have, you're missing out.
You're right.
And people around you might think that it's crazy for you to find a way to hone in on that one tool, right? And do what's best. But if you listen to people like Gary Vee and the rest of them, they're like, wait, what do you do? Find the thing that you love to do and you're good at, and double and triple down on it and bet on yourself. On it. Yep. Yeah. And so being a man down, right? So let me tie back to where we were.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to get a website done. I've had the business for 8 years. I've had more problems. And so to make sure we speak to entrepreneurs, I've had more problems, not by the things that I chose to do wrong, but by the things that I didn't choose to take action over for myself first. The old adage, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes we are a man down mentally, and we're too busy trying to figure out where we're going to grab the next hand to pull ourselves up. That's right. And that can run into relationships, for monkey bar in relationships, monkey bar in jobs, monkey bar in friendships, right? You're always trying to get somebody else to pick up what honestly you shouldn't have a hand out. You should be having a hand down, pulling, up what you should be doing. And that's your own desire to overcome and stop. You can't, if you're an adult, right? So the show, like I said, we're PG-18. I would say that's pretty fair with the way the world is right now. We're probably on the PG-13. Heck, we probably have a G rating. Like I think we do pretty well, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
But people aren't speaking the truth, right? Nobody wants to take responsibility. If you're an adult and you're over age and you think you're the man, me personally, you don't have nobody to complain to at this point, right? That's what I was living through. I lived to be 43 years old in a few months till I finally got to the point that said, you know what? God's given me every tool that I need. The problem is I'm not in the shop working them. I'm not mentally working them. I'm not spiritually working them. I'm not doing it by my life or anything else. You get to a point as a man, listen, and hopefully we reach you before you get to that point. If you know better, then do better. But if you can't do better for any other reason than you think that you should, and you might be bound mentally, like I felt like I was, where I felt like I had to give back to God so much till I finally found relief with myself. Like there's an answer for where you're at. And the biggest part of it is self-responsibility.
That's true.
Because whether people are sick, You have help at home as a man, whether she's doing the dishes or you just take your butt in there and say, woman, if you're not going to do my dishes, I'll do my dishes for myself. Because I don't need nobody as long as I'm able and willing body. I only want people going with me. You're putting yourself out there for everything else. But if you say that you're doing that and you're not doing it for yourself, that's why you're not seeing the results you need to see in your life. You are allowing yourself to be the man down, and you're actually holding yourself down.
You holding. That's very true. You say so many things. It's like when I was talking to you that I wasn't truly doing the smallest things that truly matter. So I was holding myself down. So that wasn't pushing myself or God to opening those doors for me. He was like, yeah, you're doing everything right. You're here with Ray. You're helping other people. But what about these smallest things that really truly matter? You talking about them, but you're not doing
but
about
you're
them.
not doing it. You're not doing it. So here's the thing. When you're at a position where you're talking about it so much and you say you're doing something about it, but you're taking that responsibility off yourself and putting it on someone else. And I don't care if it's your business aspect. I learned to do my own website this week. Howbeit some of the spelling was wrong, and I did it on the iPad, and I know I need to catch up with society and how the things work. At least I tried.
How did you try? Yeah.
And I found where. So now I have a point to say, okay, this is where I messed up. Let's try it again. Overall, the test website looks beautiful, and I've waited so long for somebody else to do it. I just got upset the other night, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not waiting on anybody else.
Let me do it.
I'm gonna go. So that's the thing is when you're at a point, you're a man down. When you have to get to the spot with yourself in all aspects of your life, that you just do it, right? And just doing it, whatever you're supposed to do says 15 minutes or 2.5 hours less in today's life to get done what you know you need and supposed to get done. Get that done because tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah, man.
Too many people are living their lives right now thinking that I can get that done tomorrow.
No.
And you spent so much time saying I can get that done tomorrow. And it's reflected all over. There's plenty of places to say that it's reflected in people's lives, but you don't have tomorrow. Stop thinking that you have tomorrow.
You have today. You're leaving
You have
today.
You have today. If you have hope, and we have hope through, right, our faith in Jesus Christ, because if I don't, then where's the end of my day going to be if I never wake up? My hope is that my Savior will look at me and say, hey, I loved you when I made you.
Oh, yeah.
That's my hope. Because for the past, 4 months of my life, and let's get to this too, very significant. I said, I'm about some things. Today is April 7th.
Yeah,
is it not? 7th. April 7th. My baby brother is 40 years old today. 40 years old. He has been awaiting this day. We lost our dad. He was 39, right? So each of us had this thing to like outlive our father, like that kind of goal line. I lived the same thing till I got to that point. At 40, I went through some really crazy stuff. Well,
that would be another,
way deeper in another episode. But I promise you, we'll come back to it. It's all relative. It's all relative to the story, right? And that's really what I'm trying to break up. I'm trying to break up the bread with the people around me to say, hey, man, I feel like God gave me just a little basket of knowledge.
Yeah.
That's it. I ain't saying I'm perfect. I ain't telling you you're perfect. But what I am telling you that if you just try the bread, just try it.
Try it. Might like it.
Some of it's not going to taste good.
Yep.
No, but as a bodybuilder and in previous life and things like that, I understand. But I don't want to get them called out on it or something from years ago. But we used to eat these metrics bars, and they were supposed to be like cookie dough, right? And I was a skinny kid trying to put on weight, and I hated those things. I put myself through some torture to try to gain the weight that I did over the years, and I ate some stuff that I could not. Oh God, I couldn't. But if it taught me anything, it was the little pieces of it. If you want it bad enough. Because it's one thing to want it bad enough in your life, because those are the things that you can't see. It's a difference when you're somebody like Ray, when I live that kind of life, is when you go to that gym and right? That's where, I guess that's probably where faith should be the strongest thing. Somebody can pull that up and post it. It says something about exercise thyself to godliness, because body exercise profits the body, but it profits it a little, right? That's the easiest way. I think God said, hey, listen, dummy, let me show you faith. Faith says if you show up to the gym every day, you eat this every day, if you do this every day, in so many days, something's going to happen, right? The thing is that you're not really promised the gains that's on the labels, right? You can take all the things, do all the nutrients, but if you don't really get to the regimen, the solid basis of what it is, and do it alone. Because you can go and have a workout partner help you all day long, not make you stop eating chocolate in the middle of the night. However, I was that guy. I would go middle of the night, man. I got to eat chocolate. I never could give up chocolate long enough to get good, hard, and lean. But I understood myself too. Like
your body, yeah.
I wanted to get to a certain point, then I was okay, right? I understood what my happiness level was when in my life. And at 43, going on 44, if I could look anything like I did, I wouldn't say in my 20s, but somewhere
26.
No, maybe later, maybe 32. 32, I think I was in 31, 32. I think I was in pretty good shape. So I'm making these goals, right? I'm not going to sit around and talk about it. Like there's the best thing is the new life that we've been given with the shop. We got a regular schedule. I left here last night. I went home and didn't know what to do with myself. I literally have been programmed for so long to live a certain life, but it was a life that I chose, right?
You chose.
And so
that,
I'm trying to get out of that mentality where I can relax a little bit more at home. And I haven't had this in a long time. On top of that, to drive back and forth, and I'm seeing it, I'm thinking to myself, I like to live a little closer than I do right now. I'm not really happy with where I'm living, so we'll talk.
That's the next movement.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that off air, and then we'll come back and see if what happens.
You were talking about the gym, and I remember that we had that talk last time. Just a few moments that I used to go to that Ghost gym.
Yeah.
At that time,
we all went to the same place.
Wouldn't it be that we didn't know each other, but now we do, and we were there in separate life, Yeah.
So back to conspiracies, right? So last week we went resurrection conspiracy, right?
Right.
So we can talk about COVID. We can talk about. I'm telling you why I feel the way that I do. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm not getting a vaccine. Okay. I don't have enough data. I'm not trusting it. It doesn't speak well with me. I feel like our rights are being infringed on, but at the same time, I don't feel like anybody's listening. I'm going to have faith that God's going to get us through this, right? Like this, I really want to have faith to say this isn't the end. There's for me too many things that once we get to the spiritual conversations of breaking bread, which will be the Sundays, of why things are going the way they are, like the conspiracy. So if Jesus is raised from the dead, right? The next set of conspiracies is God does a lot of things to reach out to people and get them under their mind and control, to straighten them up. Whether this is the last time or not, I can't say, but I'm tired of living my life in fear every day. Right. I'm trying to just make sure I just do right every day. And I'm not doing right just because it's for me. It's because it's the right thing to do. It's what Jesus would have done as he had passed by people. Right. But I think the biggest thing, the living word, going back to the speaking today, all that says, he says, when they asked Jesus, they said, you know what the greatest commandment is?
Oh, yes. That was in the.
What did he say? The disciples said, Jesus, what's the greatest commandment? Do you know what the greatest commandment is? To love each other.
To love each other. Yes.
As I've loved you.
As I love you. Yes.
Right?
Truly.
Jesus wasn't strolling around looking for no trouble.
No.
Wasn't causing no problem with people. Had the best of intentions everywhere he went. And he said, you're not going to do it as good as I did because I had him on my side. But as long as you got me on your side, you're going to do all right. I think we overbeat what Christianity is supposed to be. And I think there's different levels for everybody, right? Sure. Along their lines. I think some people are way too overly involved with the law. The law. They're so worried that God hates them. And if there's anything I can tell you in the past 4 months of my life, God does not hate me. He does not hate you.
He never has.
No. But growing up under that, understand, my dad was strict. My dad, I'm gonna back up. I love my father, so a lot of people know. A lot of people are gonna watch this know my dad. My dad was strict in a way that most people didn't understand. My dad was strict on me mentally. Like he'd be the one person. My mom say, when you get home, when your father gets home, you're in trouble. I knew I'd pushed it because my mom loved me, but my mom beat me, bro. Like she had no problem laying hands on me.
Come here, boy.
Well, no, and a true story. I hope my little brother gets on it. My mom tells me as a kid, right? We're a man down. Nobody's around, so I'm the man of the house. She says, hey, go see what your brother and sister are doing. I run my butt upstairs to go see what my brother and sister are doing. I see my sister choking my little brother. So I grab my sister. I don't know what they're fighting about, right? I just want it to stop and punishment is due because if mom catches me, she's going to choke me, choking you. That's it. I'm getting the same deal. So I grab her and I choked her. About the time I do that, my mom busts in the door. She's like, what are you doing? She starts choking me. I'm like, I'm a little kid, like I'm just trying to carry out your will. She's not hearing me out, right? Yeah. I had the best of intentions. I really, My mother is she's supposed to be making a trip here soon. So when my mom's here, we're definitely gonna get her on the air with us.
Oh,
I want to introduce the entire world to the woman who birthed the legend. I really do. She's a wonderful person. Anyway, all her faults aside, I go I go up to we grow up a little bit. We go to Florida, go down to my grandparents' house. My cousin Gregory's there, Trina's husband. Michael and Gregory get into it. My mom says, "Go see what they're doing." I'm like 16 years old at the time, old enough to drive. So I take my butt out there. I'm my brother. I'm like, you know what? Grab me. Why do you like being choked? My mom come out to grab me. I was like, don't you touch me. I said, I've come out here and done your dirty work twice. The first time you yelled for me to go do something, I went and handle it, and you don't like the way I did it. I said, don't you ever put your hand. Next time you yell for me, there's something you can do for yourself. You better get up and do it yourself.
Oh,
But God
man.
bless my mother. She's awesome. That was very funny though.
I was visualizing that
Yeah.
when you're running around and choking, it's just coming
Yeah,
in.
you,
I'm like,
you a
what
man
the-
down. Don't listen. If you a man down, go do it yourself. Don't. You know, if you want something done right, do it yourself. Like go take the
And,
blame.
and that's the point
Yeah.
too. You make that because sometimes like we men down and we don't really want to do it ourselves. We want to wait, but wait for what?
Well, you choked me the first time. You never even asked why it happened, right? You just come out and assume that I should be choked too. Whoa! I'm the hand here, not I
Not
didn't.
them.
Yeah, I'm not the pun. I delivered the punishment. This is what you would have done. You about to come do it to me too, right?
But drastically, like I was saying, like we were talking about men down, and sometimes you really don't want to do it, so you want to wait. But I mean, I've been there. Like I wait,
Go do it.
but
if
I'm like, why do you
go,
want to wait for?
please, Go do it.
Like
And
even if it doesn't come out right,
I've had conversations with friends of mine. Like I believe that thing so much, right? Just do something about it. I got a friend. He's always popping off about I don't know something about the Earth population control or something. I don't even know, bro. It gets so over my head, and I'm like, listen. What I would say if you're worried about the mortality rates of life, um, and you have the opportunity to do something I don't, which is go create children, then go create as many as you feel like you possibly need, and stop telling me about it every day. You
True.
know, dude, what are you doing to take care of? I don't even know what the heck is wrong with this thing. What are you doing to take care of the problem you're telling me about? Because obviously there's nothing happening. You know.
oh yeah, and that's like those problems that we can't take care of. Don't even think about those problems, man. They're too ahead of you. Think about the problems that you can right
So
now.
what do you
to your
have?
community-
You have today.
to your community.
You have today. You have the living word today, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So all you have is what you do today. Too many people are worried about what they're going to do tomorrow. And the other I think conversation come up this week is you ever feel like everything's moving too fast around you? The world never stopped moving, bro.
No, never.
You've outran the world.
That's very
Whatever it is you should be picking up and doing, you've put so much time and effort into doing everything else that you've forgotten how to live and be happy.
That's
Because you're not doing what you want to do. You're too busy doing what you think everybody else wants you to do.
wants you to do.
Right. Yeah.
That's very just
And,
like
and
starting a business.
and again, you going into the gym, you're at the training, you're going to take care of something, you're all on your own. You make your own decisions. Like you have got to take self-responsibility and control of every aspect of your life. If you don't, I think you're shortchanging yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't care what subject. Like I said, I do very much open somebody. Please come sit, talk to me. Let's break some bread. Let's talk about it. I don't care what subject you pick. It's all relative. Every last bit of it, from being a husband to being a son to being a father, an uncle,
True.
everything you do around you, because you are. In we live in a point in time now that when they say toxic masculinity or something other, such a big deal.
Mm.
I mean, I don't think so much that it's that. We can talk to the younger men later and say, well, if that's the case and that's how they feel, then I'll tell you what we should do. If you're a good young man, draw yourself back from the forces that are being put around you.
That's true.
Find somebody who likes, loves, and respects you for who you are, because that's the hardest thing it's going to be, is for somebody else to love you for who you are when you're not lying to yourself.
And that's a good. Yeah.
These are the things that I've learned. I thought going off and getting married was going to be the answer to keep me away from everything. It was never that. It was a choice.
Everything we do in life is a choice you make, and after that choice is that work that you put in.
But understand something. Some people, when you make choices to improve yourself, they're not going to understand what you're doing it for. Don't expect everybody around you just to jump on where you're going.
Oh, yeah.
And even then, you can really expect for less people than you even think to actually get in but you can expect a whole lot more people than you realize sitting around watching you, hoping you fail. There's way more people hoping that you fail,
Yo,
and they haven't even seen you realize that you're not even chasing your potential yet.
no, not
No,
even close.
no. But until you do, you're not going to get to a spot where you're going to be able to overcome the world. Like it for me, it's all scriptural. Like this is the Bible lived out, the living word through my life every day to try to show other people. Like I like you, I love you. If you don't like me, I'm sorry. Tell me what I can do to help you. But if not, I'm gonna keep walking. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna stop how I feel. I'm not gonna, even with Ray being out, I had to think about that today. I'm gonna come on air and talk about it. It's something that happened today. What's my decision for today? I'm still not taking a mask. I found a whole bunch of conspiracy videos. Then I shared a few with you, right? To
yeah,
see it.
yeah, oh,
But
yeah.
like I said, the ultimate conspiracy is that Jesus rose from the grave. Well, if I believe that, I say there's a lot of things out there that are a lot more truthful if you really realize what the scripture is saying about right now. And that's a two-edged sword because I know a lot of people that would lean both ways. So I'm hoping we can find people to come in and talk about it. I like to discuss some stuff on a more in-depth platform.
You
Hey,
know,
and well, go ahead.
we were talking about Jesus. There was a podcast that I was listening, and the guy said, "You know what? Let me put it this way: you go to heaven. The big man, the bouncer, is right there, and said, 'Hey, so you ready to come in and party here with everybody?' It's like, yeah. So he was asking, so who are you here to see? I'm here to see Jesus Christ. Uh, we don't know anybody named Jesus Christ. And then I was like, okay. I was listening to the podcast, and he's like, the name Jesus Christ was changed to now, but in the Old Testaments, it was Joshua of Nazareth.
Yeah.
So that's
There's
his real
well,
name.
and here's the thing is, I think that I'm glad you brought that up because that's one of the things people I've watched these people on TikTok and they're discussing what the actual name of Jesus and God is and this, that, and the other. I'm not saying all religions lead to God, but what I'm saying is that when His Spirit speaks to you, you are made known, aware of what those things are, and I don't care what you call Him. I call Him my Savior.
It's true.
I don't care what you can say, who He was, where He came from, I don't care. I only take risk on myself. I only risk my life to things that I'm certain of. And if you ask me what I got to make my risk on, my risk is on Jesus. Now, whether they call him anything
Oh
else or
yeah,
have anything else to say, because I'm on TikTok too. Like I'm
yeah.
trying to get myself out there along with everybody else. And I'm saying I think people got a lot of this stuff confused. I don't think you're really listening. God's trying to speak to you in your life every day, but you're not taking the hints and clues of what you already asked him, right? He's already trying to tell you. And the thing is, if he knows it better than you do, you probably, and everybody listening, you probably have an experience in your life where you just felt nudged to go a certain way and you went the opposite and it burned in your face. He's always trying to be there, keeping you. You've never been a man down,
That's very true.
ever. I watched this little kid this week on TikTok, and they were taking it and helping them learn how to jump off a ramp. And I'm like, this kid's like 3 years old, right? I'm terrified. I would never jump a bike like that. And they're teaching them, and they finally, like after the fifth or sixth try, just like anything else, somewhere along the lines, you forgot that it's okay that the training wheels are on,
Yeah,
but you have got to get to a point where you are not afraid of the training wheels being off.
yep.
Yeah,
That's a very good
that fear
analogy.
spot, like
Yeah,
and then once you realize that, and that you're never a man down, you're never really without, right? The only thing lacking is you're listening, and understanding. That's it. Why? You're so busy living fast that you got no idea what it was like. I would really love to know. I watched the Chosen uh, series. Have you seen that?
oh, the Chosen
Yeah.
series where
Yeah, the whole Jesus story.
yeah,
Like
I saw the whole.
I watched it once. I'm gonna watch it again. They just dropped a second episode set, so I hope if you're encouraged, please go watch it.
Yeah.
Donate $10 to the next set because I like the first one so much I couldn't wait for the second one to come out. But I'm also a binge watcher, so I'm just not gonna sit down and watch each individual episode, right? So I got to watch it all at once. So.
Oh, so you watched it all?
I've sat down. I spent a week. I treated it with 1 week, and I watched the whole thing. So instead of reading the Bible every night, I watched the show. The thing is, I've read the Bible so much that some people, they say, well, you shouldn't watch it because they're taking stuff out of context. And the other thing, I'm glad that they brought such realism to what life was like. Because could you imagine for a second walking around with Jesus? And not just the things that he would do, just the fact that being around him was just a peaceful. He had good things to say all the time. So if he was a peaceful person, people like to be around him. Shouldn't he be the same way? It's a lot of what the problem in the world with today is. Like I feel that wholeheartedly, you know. And too many people take and they don't give back, right?
That's true.
Right. They're always trying to take out more than they want to give because they feel like somebody else is going to get over on them. You got to get over that fear. If you feel like the group of people you're around are going to get over on you, get into a different group of people.
And that's their
you
fear.
don't have to be an adult, right?
No.
But there's some bread. Eat that, man. Digest it. Let it turn into some proteins from some spiritual muscle for another day.
and that's people's fear, though.
Yeah.
That they don't want to go to the next group because they're so comfortable with.
They're so comfortable where they are.
It's like a duck.
It took a long time. I'll be honest with you. It's taken me 8 years to finally meet and have friends who are not on the internet where they're close to me, to actually have other people who do what I do, not only come at least talk to me about stuff, but bring me projects that they're working on. You know, that they're you know, and they're willing to discuss stuff. Because I think a lot of people, you know, at lower levels, you're too afraid of what, you know.
You don't want to say it. Sometimes it's like, no, if I tell you this, you're gonna take my idea because you
take
might
my
have
idea.
money. Yeah, running. I don't have the money.
Or you're too afraid to tell what you know. If you don't give back what you know, the knowledge you've obtained, then you've wasted knowledge.
Well, that happened with Blockbuster and Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix told them the idea. Well, Blockbuster had the money. They did what Netflix could have done. But look what happened. It didn't work for them.
Look at the way it turned around.
It turned around.
Blockbuster went under.
But I mean, it's sad to know that's how it's still banging out there, saying it right now the same ways. You know, you're trying to say something. Oh man, that's really a good idea.
Yeah.
And since they already got the mindset and the mentality that shit is gonna work, you might not. You know, instead of me telling you, let me bring you in, you work your idea, man. I'm willing to invest on it.
Who's the owner of Amazon? What's that guy's name?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
The richest.
I know.
170 billion dollars.
Whatever. You know what? It's more than enough for everyone.
He's
and I'm not knocking him.
No, me neither, man.
But if you look at what he did, I watched a video the other day. So like 1998, and I think he had lost like $5 million that year. He was 5 million men down. He was 5 million men down. And they asked him, and he was like, "Man, I feel." He was so driven in the thought and ideology and the dream that he had, that he was pushing something that nobody else realized what he was going for.
Nobody knew.
No,
nobody.
No. But he was the only person who believed. You know, so I literally, like, if he was going to build an ark for money, I guess if you want to be fair about it, God's like, I'm going to give you all this money. Go build an ark. And everybody's like, oh, that's kind of stupid. You've lost so much money, time, manpower. You could have had gardens, planted fruits, years. You got to realize that years went by.
Years went by, and now look at him now. So if you got a vision, dream, and a goal, you go for it.
Go for it. Stop waiting.
No, did you hear his story though?
Well, what would you do? Yeah, giving yourself, right? I had a lot of people. Hey, don't you want your son to be like you? No. God, why would I ever wish so much horror on a person? Like I never want my son to be like me. I want my son to be better than me. Everything to be better. But if you're a father and you're not putting that kind of work into your child's life today, you got nobody to blame.
And it sucks because in that part too, there's like other fathers, you know, having a son or daughter, and they still, you know, not blame or anything, but they want, like, the daughter wants to do something, and they're like, oh no, you got to be just like mom, or you're just gonna be at home cooking when you get married. Then they get that mentality. And then they're like, oh, okay.
Oh, Ray's not here. We can touch immigration.
Yeah,
we've touched that before.
And there's more coming. More caravans coming soon.
And like, we're gonna. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna back out of that room and close that door. We'll take that one up for another day. Yeah, but
I know,
an absolute man down. And I say the tragedy, travesty. I don't really know all my words correctly. I'm kind of stupid, but I know what I mean. The thing that's happened with those people, again, you know, what we see here in America, where I feel like I'm at, back to the vaccine, back to that, is that there's a group of founders who made this country who said, hey, man, we have a thought and an idea it's radical to the rest of the world. It's radical to the rest of the world, but you got to follow the program. You know, you have to stick with the program. So It's a shame that these other countries,
I know.
people, have not gotten so upset with the people in charge. Which, if if the whole if the entire NRA was as mad as people thought they were, they wouldn't leave a person standing around to tell them what to do, because that's what a drug dealer would do.
Mm.
That's what a bad person would do. If they have that much fire and gunpowder, they're going to go fight and manipulate their way through everything. I think some of the most peaceful people in the world right now are Americans, and we're being too peaceful for way too long.
Two way.
Yet sometimes you have to draw the line. And I say the best way to do that is to start at home. Start at home, and no matter if you're left leaning, right leaning, I don't care what it is, you got to start finding a way to spend time together to go forward. You need a mask, don't need a mask. I mean, don't get me wrong. Are we going back to being segregated? Like everybody who has a mask, you can drink from this water fountain. And everybody who don't drink a mask,
Don't.
well, all of you worthless people can go down at the other end. Tell me that's not what you see.
That's what's.
Tell me that's not what's coming. It's so now it's a passport thing, right? So I don't know if you're watching.
Oh, I saw that.
They're talking, and
Yeah.
that's
I
the ultimate
remember
goal.
we
But what
mentioned
do?
that.
You strip liberties away from people one by one, and everything the Constitution was written about was to say, no, you can't take my liberties. You're gonna wait till we get all the way down
It's
to the
like
very bottom. And the thing is, I don't care if you're left or right, but for the love of God, the only way that the only ideology I see the left going right now is that if I choose not to be like them, then where's that put me? I guess I'm no better than somebody from the South again, somebody who a flag or some other crap. I'm just pretty assured that those people got labeled with something that, wasn't exactly fitting. And it's equal for me, because I look outside that and I say, I don't like when people come. I don't like when I don't like when American citizens just call somebody a Mexican. That's utterly degrading to me. It's one thing if you know the guy and say, yeah, well, it's the context, right?
Yeah.
And I see the context in if we're using the N word or we're not using the N word, right? To me, it's already beginning to be the point of the next super offensive thing. But they're also, I feel like, getting pushed way to the back because their voice isn't being heard either. You know, so where do you make everybody equal at again? Start at home.
Start at home. Yeah.
Start at home. If you're alive and awake today and you hear the sound of my voice, trust me, I challenge you to go be responsible for your life today. When you get done tonight, you're good with this stuff, then just I'll see you later, Dean. I appreciate you being on there.
But you're right, man. It's like
you really want to change it. Go change it home, because your world realizes the television showing. Even here, we're on the World Wide Web, right? We're being broadcast to everybody across the world. I just want to tell you what I'm doing in my personal little world. They say the world don't revolve around you, but I definitely try to make sure that I'm revolving around my world.
Around your world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an opposite side to all the kind of crap people say. You got to find the good in everything. You really have to search hard and find it. And if you can't find it, drop it, walk away from it, go somewhere else. Don't stay there.
That's so tough.
That's the tree
That's
of
the
knowledge.
Tree. That's the tree of knowledge.
But what happened? That fruit tastes so good, you stay there. You stay in that thing.
Because I used to be in that position.
Because you're still a man down.
I was like, I can't. And then somebody told me, "Are you a tree?" And I was like, "Hell no, I'm not a tree."
Well, I heard a guy preach this past week, right? I'm not saying I don't disagree with what most preachers say, but I'm telling you, the algorithm for me, I'll give you my TikTok after this. You can scroll through it. It's like Jesus, it's conspiracy theory, like doom, all these other things. Sometimes there's a there's a random girl in there trying to get herself some thoughts. I'm glad to see that my offerings of for yous are not girls with OnlyFans anymore. I can tell you that much. If there's nothing else, if I could find the two algorithms and match it up, I can tell you where the day changed, where my life changed. Like I said, I watch all those things go through it, and the guy's like, well, the thing is, the seed gets planted into a pot, right? And the tree is only going to get as big as that pot allows. Here's what I want to say. I'm going to tell you, I've seen God and faith in action after the fact, right? Because it's really easy to be happy and say, well, God got me through that. Thank God for that. It's hard when you know you're going something and God's already got you through other things, but you think he ain't going to get you through this one yet. You trust him enough every day to say he's your savior of your life, but yet you don't trust your life to him. And you deny him because you don't live your life in such a way that you would be more like him. But he said the tree is only going to get as big. My grandparents' house. I know you can hear my dogs in there whining. Get out. I'm gonna get them out in a second.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, the old man had taken some fruit trees, and they were real little, right? Like you go down to Lowe's, get the little bitty fruit tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
20 something years later, 25 years later, my grandparents get the place. The pot plant that it started in, it had busted out. The plastic was wrapped around it still, and the roots were deep in the ground because nothing was going to stop that good seed from getting to where it needed to be. Whether those roots had to go through the smallest cracks or wherever it had to go, you really want to put yourself and be like the tree. And like Bruce Lee talks about it, be like water, conform to everything. You have to want to grow to the point past everything else around you, or you're only going to get as big as that pot that you put in. And if you're not looking for alternative ways to get out and dig yourself deeper, you're gonna stay right where you are. You're gonna
stay where you are.
Nature, God's life's gonna pull you forward. You're a baby. You're gonna learn to walk. You're gonna go through life, and you can either be the one that chose to really dig down, find those spots, and get strong, or be like the ones that he said would never break out of that clay pot. Because I'm telling you what, if you ever cut grass, I've cut grass. Sometimes I had that grass in my neighborhood. I hated the HOA because that grass grew in the crack of that concrete, and I didn't care what I did to it. I went out there and poured gasoline on it, just shy of lighting it on fire because I was afraid it'd blow the house up. And it grew.
Yeah.
And it grew, and it's considered to be a bad thing. If you're really trying to be like a good thing, what are you trying to mimic that good thing that you tell me you want to be like? Look at that, and you start seeing people's lives. Then you can start picking who your friends are, the people that are around you. You can decide what forest of trees you want to be.
Yes.
And you can decide what kind of monkeys you want climbing around.
You want to, in there. Yeah, that's
to be fair. to be honestly fair, it's in all of it. What's it boil down to? Are you a man down? Are you letting the man down? Because a lot of men walk around. You need a beer?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was about to ask you, but I didn't want to get you.
No, you're good. So,
but you're down. You're down.
I'm not down. You down?
Nah, I'm down for a beer. Yes. And it's up to us. The answer is up to you. Always it's up to you. At the end of the day, it's like you said.
If you're offended by what other people are doing in their lives, then you are way too busy looking at their life and not living your own life.
And I used to do that, dude. Let me tell you this. When I used to go to high school, I don't know if he's watching or if he even has Facebook.
I'm going to go share this. I'm going to get us some viewers. We need to get some people on here.
Yeah, we had 8, and then it dropped down. There was my friend. What was his name? I know his last name, Flores. And I was always right. Like, he would say something that he was a smart guy and an all-A student, but I was right. Like, he would say something, and I would stop, and I said, no, that's not it. The way I told you that's how it works. And he knew that, that's not the way to go, but he was afraid to tell me because maybe we would have lost friendship.
Well, I think that's I like that too. Back to bodybuilding. Go watch and share. Let me say this. Back to bodybuilding. I used to loved Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
Oh yeah.
Loved him. He's a smart guy. He did a lot of the right things. Listen, you don't have to agree with all of his life, but I think he put every tool that he had to work, and he got where he wanted to be. Some of the tools that he used cost him some heartache, right? So take his life for what it is and figure out what part of that is beneficial and not. But some people around you, right? You got to be careful which man you have around you because it might be another man holding you down. You might be allowing somebody else to do that because what happens? They understand what you're afraid of. They keep you in the constant talk of like, well, I don't know how I should be feeling. Man, if you don't have a person around you who tells you need to get up and go and try it every time, stop worrying about the doubt. Take every doubt that you have and get rid of it. Because the only thing doubt does is make sure that your tomorrow is not better because you didn't overcome it today.
That's right.
That's the only thing doubt does. You lay your head on the pillow at night, know that you've done everything you can. You've lived the best that you can. You follow the spirit to the best of your ability. You're not perfect.
No, you never want to be perfect.
But if you wake up tomorrow, start being responsible for yourself. Stop letting the man down. Stop being a man down.
Stop being a man down. Be the man that you God wanted you to be.
Yeah, go down and get that man up. When you feel like that man's dead and done and has no revival left in him whatsoever, dig down deep, get on your knees, tell God you're sorry, get up tomorrow, and do something different.
Mm.
And then do it for 30 days. Treat it like going to the gym.
You're right.
Give it 30 days. 30 days, other people are going to know something about you. 45 to 60 days, you're going to realize something different about yourself. 6 months from now, you're somebody you never was before. You know, you start stacking them days together, that daily bread. Take that every day. If you're not taking it, whatever you're taking in every day, whatever's feeding you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and everything else, if that bread you're not receiving is not coming in of good, then make sure you don't eat at those places tomorrow.
It's the same way with people. You don't need to hang
That's
out
it.
with those people.
No.
Who's telling
Because
you?
if you were changing your life and decided the breads at the restaurants were wrong for you, you wouldn't eat the breads at the
You won't
restaurants.
eat. No, you won't.
You already know right from wrong. You just don't apply it to the rest of your life. It's that simple. It's that easy to look at yourself and say, I'm going to change.
And that's how all those people like Jeff Bezos said, the next step, business or personal life, this way. It's all simple. Like when you truly focus on that.
Yeah. You want to go be happy? You want to go be happy? I'm telling you right now. You want to really go truly be happy? Go start yourself a business. I started my business. I do nothing about running a business. I just know that I'm good at making things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm good at telling people I can't make it. And if I can't, I'll figure it out. Because I don't quit. You know, so I bet on me. I had good people around me. I had a good group of friends. I got good manufacturers, supplier friends that I made through the industries. But I knew who to stay friends with and who to drop.
You choose who you want to be with.
You choose who you want to be around. And you know how many times you give somebody a chance and not. Even though Jesus said 70 times 7, I'm just saying it's okay to still love that person, but go across the street tomorrow. Don't try to love them on the same street.
What was that from that Bible when
let them see you having a good time and want to come to you?
King David, or the one that killed a lot of people and still God gave him a chance and chances.
God had a lot of people kill a lot of people. If you ask me, I don't. Here's the thing: is I don't judge any of those people differently because of what happened to them.
Yeah.
But if it's, I think David, Samson killed a bunch of people. Love the story of Samson. Judges, Book of Judges, I believe, that comes about, and it was because the people were looking for a man. The children of Israel, God was like, "Oh, y'all are cool, and we need somebody to lead us." And He's like, "Well, I gave you the judges." They were so stupid that they actually had to get somebody on top of them and tell them all what to do. That's why they needed kings. But they asked to be put in change.
Yeah.
You think about it.
It's true.
They're kings.
I didn't think
Their
about
kings
it. Yeah,
led them to the chains. And they asked for it. Where are you at in your life? Tell me that the word of God is not applicable for every situation up and down in your life. If you really look at the story the way it should be revealed to you. The story's great, but it's the lessons from the stories.
The lessons.
You watch the movies. You walk away from the movie. And maybe you're one of those people who walk away like, oh my gosh, that was the best performance I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if that's who you are. But if you are, right? Because I've walked away and been like, wow, that actor really killed it. Like I was not expecting anything to come out of that dude today. The Joker, the last Joker movie, the one before where they said like Heath Ledger couldn't be outdone for what he did. The one with I can't remember the guy who did
the one that died? No.
Oh,
that was
died.
okay.
Who's
I never saw the whole movie, the new Joker movie.
I think he played Johnny Cash too.
I forgot. Yeah, but I forgot his name. I know what you're talking about.
The way that he did it when he did that character, I was like, oh my gosh.
I only saw like 30 minutes
on
of
the
it.
edge of insane.
Yeah,
but he was good at something, amazing. Use your talent.
Use your talent. Yeah, everybody. I mean, God put everybody a gift inside of us. Many have many gifts, and you've seen some people have many gifts.
Yeah.
And even though it's there for you, you still gotta work on it.
That's the thing is that if you know and recognize that you have gifts, and you're not giving your gifts back, you're putting the gifts to good use. That's a dangerous position to be in, because you're not doing the right things you already know to do that was instilled from you to start. I mean, sometimes don't get me wrong. You got a little kid. Listen, I'm all for no more plastic plugs and things. Oh, you want to stick your fingers in it? Go ahead. It hurts. Because guess what? Me telling you it hurts today because you felt pain. The next time something comes along, I say, don't do that. That's going to hurt. Your mind is going to be programmed. I don't want to feel that kind of pain.
No, I don't want to do it.
I think that's why you see such a big change in people from generation to generation. Find you an old person. They don't do the wrong things.
They don't.
They don't. And even if they choose to stand on the right or the left, they might talk where they talking, but they ain't bothering nobody. They living and let living. They've learned enough to be an adult to say, you know what, you ain't even got to move. I'm gonna move. I'll just stay away from it. Not now. Not nowadays.
No,
Think the same life.
it's not.
No. Why? Because people forgot to tell you how much things hurt. You forgot. No, we haven't taught generations how much stuff actually hurts. Breakups, right? Broken homes, casualties of war. You know.
And then leading to suicide.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Some of these guys that come back from committing suicide, who've been overseas, like my heart really breaks for them. Like, I don't know what you have to. I'll take that back. I know I've been to the point several times that I felt like I felt much rather dead than alive. Like if I just removed my existence for a minute, I could make the pain stop existing. Never full well realizing that until after the fact that the pain that I was feeling was something that I caused myself.
Mm.
Think about your lowest spots in life. Is it something you can prevent? Well, I bet you prevent it from happening today. And if you're not preventing yourself from being in those low spots, then what are you doing? You're doing the wrong thing.
They're doing the wrong thing.
You're letting the man down.
You're letting the man down.
Yeah. And when nobody else has got you, God's got
yourself.
you.
Yeah, God.
And what is He asking you to do? Be dedicated.
Dedicated. Yeah.
Be dedicated. You know.
It's funny to know that that's real.
Yeah. And it's broken down in a way that I say it's bypassed by most people. They're trying to over church. They're trying to over teach. You're just not paying attention that your number one job is to be a father at home, to be a leader at home. And if you're a leader at home and you're allowing yourself to be swayed and pricked and pushed by so many different things, I like to joke up and cut up and have a good time. I'm going to bully the guy next to me just as much as he's going to bully me, right? But at the same time, I respect you, bro. If it gets to be too bad where one of us gets offended, I'll walk away. But understand something. Most of the times when I'm picking or messing with you, it's because I like you. There's obviously something I like about you that I want to try to help, encourage and whatever. We just have a friction between us. But I try to make sure that the people that I choose to have friction between me and them is more like that blade and iron sharpening iron.
Sharpening, yeah.
That good kind of friction.
The good kind of,
There's nothing wrong with being put in the fire because the fire purifies things. If your life is not going through some troubles, and make the choices, make those choices that you're going to do something different, and then see if the troubles don't get bigger. That in itself should be proof to you that say, well, Satan's working against me, this, that, and the other. Do something different tomorrow. Go live your life differently tomorrow for the next 30 days and see what things bother you and what things don't bother you. And then wait till about the 60th day, 90th day, and then find out how many of the things have been eliminated. Because most of the stuff that you don't want to do or like, you're gonna walk away from. 30 days later, you've created a new habit. You're done with it. It's in old, deep habits that you're gonna find yourself facing that I think is so heavy. And at every step in life that you take, you got to make sure that you're not not being the man down. It's okay to be the man down, but don't stay down.
Stay down. Yeah.
Jesus don't want you to stay down.
Oh, yeah.
He never asked you to stay down. He did ask you to move around.
Yeah. And you hit on good points right there.
Yeah,
really good.
He asked you to move around. You don't have to stay where you are.
No, you don't.
No. And if you are staying where you are and you're putting yourself in the victimized circumstances per se, then the only person you have to blame today after you've heard this is yourself. I'm beckoning you, man. Take that to Jesus. Let it go and change. Just try it.
But that's
and it's not going to be easy. Right?
No,
it's not. You're still going to live and you're going to go through some things, but you find yourself living a life where you live around people where you're unoffended and they're unoffended. And then find the groups of people you want to live around and be that you desire, right? To have fellowship and friendship with that are on the same wavelength. I don't care. Call it your chakras. I really don't give a crap what you call it, but you got to get control of yourself first. Because if you're an adult saying you're telling me that you're responsible enough to go vote and choose what we're all allowed to do and not do, first and foremost, I'm not telling you can't vote because you're over 18. I'm asking you to check yourself mentally before anybody else does. See where you're at. What kind of person are you being? What kind of things are you doing? What are they influencing the things around you? I pulled up all kinds of good videos. I really want to get to the point where we're sharing these videos so we can relate it, because it relates over so many, it transcends so many issues, race issues, religion issues, this, that, and the other. I mean, I catch this stuff from all sides. Don't get me wrong. I see the Muslims speaking. And the thing is, what I find is the Muslim speaking that I hear, these guys are saying some pretty good things. I may not agree with what they're doing, right, overall, and what they are, but to say that there's not some stuff that they're not struggling to get out that says is proper, At the same time, I'm saying I want to be their friend and sit around and talk about it and maybe lean a little more this way. If not, I understand you're trying. I feel like you're a little confused, but maybe so am I. I'm not going to kill you over being confused.
True.
You know, and that's my only difference between the religions. I really want to state that. And take it out for everything else you want. I read these things, watch these things. So many people want to talk about how, again, the Bible's taken so far out of context. All the ancient histories. Have you ever watched any of this stuff? Like, actually, I know Netflix hit, or the not just the Netflix, but the COVID hit. Man, I had a lot of time to sit around at home
watching YouTube too.
and
A lot of stuff.
It started really getting to me, right? Because I found that when everybody else ran home to worry about if they was going to die, I'm more worried about trying to seek Jesus and see if I'm going to live.
I'm gonna live. Yeah. Why would I want to think if I'm gonna die when you?
Yeah, and that's where it set in. It was the view. Are we going to die? Are we going to live? And I said that last week. What's next?
And like you said,
what I believe in is promise for better than this. But at all points in the being, I'm trying to make sure I leave a better tomorrow than what I had today. I really am trying to leave a better tomorrow. You know, and where's it work at? The world around me. Well, what's the world around me? The world I revolve around. Start changing just that little bit of your life. I challenge anybody watching and listening. Change that much of your life. Come back and talk to me. Tell me how you feeling. It's free. Yeah, I'm not asking you to go to a seminar and pay for it. I'm just saying, like, I've experienced this firsthand. This is look at this. Look at this place.
I know.
And the bad thing is we've been here less than 2 weeks. And if I was honest, you talk about like the cup runneth over. I'm at a spot where my balance beam is not only equal, but went completely the opposite way for me in life. And not for any other choice than I gave up my life and decided to start doing the right things every day.
And you were thinking not to get this.
Mm-hmm.
It was that.
Well, and I was worried. I was afraid.
Oh, yeah.
I was scared. I was terrified to even have the conversation. And then when I went and had the conversation with the property owner, they end up, like I said, sharing so much grace towards me that I was never even expecting. I was willing to pay the higher cost. But it was like, no, I want to see you get the next step up. I believe.
And look what happened when you jumped in.
And now we're at a spot where we've seen business, double and triple over top of the where it used to be, because we're having like about 5-6 people a day stop by asking to get stuff done so far. And this stuff's been going on for 2 weeks. We weren't even having doors open. We're just going to crack the doors open and people are coming in. Yeah.
Isn't that funny that's how?
But I was terrified. So what was the change? Everything that needed to be get done. I went and did it myself.
You did it, yeah. And you
and I'm not taking glory of myself to say I did it myself. What I'm saying is that God revealed enough to me to say, hey man, if you just go take care of what I gave you and have a little faith, you've been asking for a long time. I'm going to put the things in play, but you were not ready to receive what I'm trying to give you.
There we go.
You're not in that spot. But I know myself, I had prayed years earlier, God prepare me to receive the things that I'm stopping myself from receiving.
When you were ready.
When I'm ready, give me what I need.
And there was like
but all I'm asking you to do is get me to that step where I'm ready to go to the next step. Right? And a lot of it was him teaching me to lean on him and less on myself. Yeah. So which would bring me to it. You got to know when it's okay to let the other man be down. Right? You what are you going to do? You're going to continue living your life the best you can, doing all that you can, keep pushing forward. But when you get to that spot where the other man in your life, if he's one of those people, I don't care who you take, your 5 closest friends, take the loser, get rid of him, replace him with a winner.
But
it's not so much that that's a winner, but a person that has the same wavelength, the same drive, the same determination. Because if you allow one thing to hold you, that's like take a car, right? If you run around on it almost seems you run around on flats, right? And or you run around, the tires are good and you don't have a flat. If you don't have a spare, or let's say you do have a spare, the spare's not pumped up, you get a flat tire out in the middle of, who cares?
Nowhere.
Pick a place. I don't care if it's a desert in the middle of downtown Houston. You don't want to be there.
No, you don't.
Right? If the spare tire don't work, what happens? Your vehicle don't work. You ain't getting forward in life.
No, you're not.
Most people, we had a lady come in the other day, get a tire plug, took her spare off. I didn't throw it in the bed of her truck. I took it out, inspected it, aired it up, sprayed it down. Yep, it's good to go. Check the DOT date on it. Put it back on it. Tell me another shop who and I'm not doing this because she knows it, but I'm like, hey man, your life says this. If you don't have all 5 are good, if one is bad, and if I realize one is bad, then I need to tell you, I'm gonna take time to stop and talk to you. I apply it in my business. I apply it in my life. I apply it in everything that I do.
And truthfully, no,
Yeah,
people
and
don't do that.
no, and you don't even have to tell people that you do it. That's the
No,
beauty
you
of it. I'm
don't. You
telling you
don't.
because
Yeah.
this is what I'm
Oh yeah,
doing.
yeah. But you
But I'm telling
don't.
you, just do this for yourself and try. I'm telling you, try it out for 30 days.
He's already watching.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing, so you don't need to be telling everybody, "Oh, I did this," or
You're living through. I want you to understand something about Resurrection Weekend. You're living through a personal experience that's so personal that the Word of God itself says, "I knew you, the reader, the understander, the believer, before you were born." And when I knew you before you were formed, you were with me when I spoke it all. My desire is that you're always with me.
Mm.
Right? He's always thinking about you. You've always been on his mind. If this last Easter Sunday was for nobody else, I'm going to say it's the most selfish way possible. I would have been the one of 99. And without him, I'd still be who I was.
who you were before.
But it's personal to every person the same way. But if you're not allowing that to happen, realize that he did it even if it was just you.
Hmm.
Some people are pretty good people and some people are pretty bad. But in the end, it's all about that choice.
It's all about that choice.
It's
So,
all about that choice.
that's why Jesus Christ chose to be on the crucified for
Tell me,
us.
I say the hardest thing is if somebody came to me and said, "Yeah, it's you or the kid, not me or the children," take it outside that. If it's me or other children, I'll not let me take a child. There ain't no way. And because I feel like I'm fully aware where my soul is. If you told me it was me or another person, I'd rather say, "Go ahead and take me first." That person still needs time.
Hmm.
You got to get to the point that you feel like that, you know, and you got to be able to use that and realize you don't always have to kill yourself per se for another person, right? You have enough knowledge of when to do and when not to do. Even though Jesus died for both people, both male factors on sides, right? One accepted him, one did not. In the end, they're all bad. They've done bad things, no matter what it was. But if you know that these two people are doing bad things, you don't have to be Jesus and go save everybody.
You got a point there.
It's
Yeah.
okay
Yeah.
to reach out to the other guy before you on the cross together. You really want to put yourself in Jesus' shoes. You need to be able to put yourself in a position to where the people that you purposely have contact with, you're being a positive influence for. Because if you're not living what the actual scripture says you should be doing. Not by any means at all. I've seen these pastors online and they post these things and I'm like, "Hey man, I want to talk to you." So I go ahead and just respond. They respond back. They give me go to the link, give me the feed. No, you didn't understand what I said to you. I want to talk to you.
I want to talk to you. Yep.
So if me and you are on the same wavelength, then God would already let you know that I need to talk to you to start with. Purposely looking for the person to talk to. But when you're around other people, if you're not living that life for others around you, you're doing the wrong thing. You know. And again, you don't have to crucify yourself for everyone. It's okay to walk away from certain things. And the reason being is because of the knowledge of good and evil. What is good for you and bad for you. You got to trust that God knows right and wrong. But if that's hurting you, God says that's probably bad for you. Because why? Ultimately, eating the fruit says you're going to die. So if what you're doing is going to cause you pain, any kind of pain towards death to me, I'd rather be away from it.
Yeah. Run from it. Go away from it.
And understand, I'm sorry. Whatever I did to cause us to be in that position and spot where we are, I'm sorry we got there. But I'm at a spot also in my life that I love you, I'm forgiving, and I wish you would let me express to you how much like I really am sorry by being just different around you. But if you choose not to be there, by all means, go across the street, but watch. Yeah. After I said real solid for Easter, man. That hit me hard. That was you know Easter's always a difficult season. Lost my dad, on a Good Friday. So
Friday, yeah.
it doesn't matter what day it falls on, all that stuff. And so what's ultimately affected me all the way up to this point. If what I'm trying to do is get better, right? Just be a better person or live the right thing. I stood at my dad's casket and I watched this huge funeral for all these people. And you know what I thought to myself about God at that point in time? The truth was I didn't think about what a religious holy man my father was, or thank God he's going to heaven. I didn't think any of those things. I looked around and I thought, man, this guy was loved by so many people. I know him. And if this many people are saddened by the loss of this guy, how many lives are you affecting that you're not paying attention to? Because I know he was purposely trying to have positive effects in everybody's lives he was around. I seen him give people jobs that he probably shouldn't have, give cars away, give money away, help people that you knew it was going to go bad, but he'd do it anyway. Then I watched him get to a spot where he was smart enough when to help and not to help. He knew when to do and when not to do. When you're smart enough to know when to do it and when not to do it, you should probably be doing it.
You should probably do, yes.
Yeah, you should already be doing it. And it's going to hurt. You're going to have some people ask you for some things that is going to be somebody that you had philosophies and feelings or ideologies in the person you were before. I personally had a guy ask me, "Hey man, you got enough room and space? I want to help him." I'm like, I've helped the guy a couple times. Then he wanted to come here and work, and I'm like, I don't have a job for you. Well, can I just kind of rent some space in your shop? No, man. Everything about this is a cost. This is a life that I've been blessed with that we're trying to bless other people back with. If I'm not good over what I have, I'm never going to be able to help other people out. And not that I don't want to help you out, but when I've realized in the past so many times that it cost me money or time or aggravation or friendship stress, I prefer to just not go back down that same route.
You know.
Like I said, and it's not that I don't like the person. I really hope that he finds his way in his path. I hope that what's going on for him is the greatest thing ever happened to him. But right now, I got to make sure I take care of what I'm taking care of.
Yep.
And that's to do the right thing and the wrong thing. Same thing, and that's relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that Toxica.
Toxica. I was talking to Tatiana.
And that's the thing, though. It's not good for you.
No.
Right? And in your heart, you might actually find sometimes that you have a Toxica that or Toxiana. Which one is it? Which one am I supposed to say? They're Toxiana. You know what I'm talking about? They come in all
different flavors,
races, ages, colors. They're out there, right? They're
OnlyFans.
I'm not judging you, but I hope you come to the realization that you don't have to be toxic to be beautiful.
I know.
They don't have to be toxic to be beautiful. That's what women have forgotten to be told. Yeah, you're much more beautiful when you're sweet.
That's very true.
Yeah, men themselves find it a lot easier time to go home and love wives who are sweet to them. Not, do your job. Don't let your man down.
Yeah, and that's
because we've had women who've asked, and I'm like, well, if you want the truth, I'm trying to teach the men out there to be the kind of man that you'd want him to be anyway, so that you wouldn't want to have your man down.
Yeah,
to be fair with it,
you have to work together.
Yeah, all the way around.
All the way around. That's how it's sad to. It feels wrong, when those relationships lose each other because it's not that.
Excuse me, but can you go get Alan to handle that? I don't know who that is. Sorry, doors are open at the shop. We're just trying to we do have dogs.
Yeah,
I promise you, they're very sweet.
Oh yeah, they are. They are. Trust me, they are.
I just wouldn't bother them. Obviously, wouldn't open the door if they don't know who you are.
But yeah, like I was saying, I mean that it's saddening to know that how many divorce and everything with people together, like that they're never in the same page. No. And it goes back to like no man down. It can go to no woman down.
Like I said, but if you know that, it all boils down to if you know that here.
Yeah.
You know the man's down. Like I said, we've seen a few people here respond, whatever. I've had a few text people watching. The show's going on, right? I can't wait to have Ray here next week.
Oh yeah.
Really looking forward to it. I'm hoping and praying that nothing.
No, he's okay.
But again, it's all back to the mask, no mask, where you at? And I would like to say that I'm still going to choose to be a no mask, and if something happens to me along the way, my soul is safe with where it's at. At the same time, if you ask me to wear a mask because you feel safer around you, yeah, okay, whatever. But I ain't letting you stick nothing in my body that I don't know what it is, and I ain't ready. I'm not.
You're not ready.
I'm not saying it's the mark of the beast.
No.
I'm not saying it's like that, but I'm saying at the same time, I'm not really ready for you just to take another piece of my. I don't know. Like, I mean, you already have a social security number. How much more do you want? Jesus didn't tell you to be stupid.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna say too. Like, he didn't tell you to be dumb. And also, what he told you is that there wouldn't be times that persecution wouldn't come for you believing what other people don't believe. And he said the world hated me first. They're gonna hate you too. And if you don't understand that, then you need to keep following along so we can get there.
You're right. That's what you said.
I'm saying you have an individual choice. You have an absolute individual choice. Right now, that choice is not for me. No. Jesus maybe.
Yeah.
But that the whole vaccine.
The whole vaccine, no.
And what's sad is so many people's lives are being torn apart.
Ah,
A lot.
isn't it sad?
A lot of people and families, brothers and sisters not talking, nieces and nephews
Because
not
of
seeing.
that.
Over what? So, and here's the thing: is if you're wearing a mask and you believe in the vaccine and you took it, then why are you so afraid of being around people who haven't had a vaccine? I need that answer. I need just that answer alone.
Right.
Because if I take the vaccine, I should not get sick. And if you're sick and I'm not, then I still shouldn't get sick. I mean, for the love of God, I got chicken pox twice to make sure I didn't have it for the rest of my life. You know, I got exposed to it. My parents took me around. It's chicken pox. They're bad, right? They're supposed to be bad, but if you got the chicken pox, it's easier than getting the chicken pox. Then that way you're never going to get it again. The younger you are, the less likely you're going to scratch your face off or, you know, do damage to yourself. And now you're going to tell me that if you have a vaccine and a mask, and you're afraid to be around people who are not vaccinated, choose not to wear a mask and not to have a vaccination, your vaccination is BS. I'm sorry that you just bought the biggest load of crap that I believe in. Yeah. But at the same time, I love you, and that sucks.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm not purposely. If you don't like it that I'm not, please just, you don't have to be around me. We have the beauty of the internet. We can share. We can talk from here. If I kick the bucket and go before you, no problem, bro. I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Not afraid to die. I am absolutely unafraid to die, and I'm
this is a
unafraid
good question.
to fail.
That should be another topic because people ask me if I'm afraid. I tell them that I'm not.
For what?
And they ask me like, "You never think about it?" I'm
listen,
like,
and I'm gonna say this: if you're a believer and you're afraid to die, then your belief and faith in Jesus Christ says that the things that you have prayed for, that you're thinking that if you leave your children, wife, spouse, nephews, nieces, dog behind, that they're not going to live without you. You're not Jesus Christ. I really have nothing else to say other than, like, if your faith are not these things, we can discuss everything.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I'm just telling you where my faith is at.
Yeah.
Like I said, the show's going to develop, and I told you we'd get to where we're going to go. My faith says that. Yeah. Okay, you're going to kill me? Great. I trust that my God's going to take care of everything else, whether I'm here or not here, because he said he was present, was, is to come, has always been, and forever will be. What do you want me to do about it? And I promise you that if he loves me like I love my own son, my Father loves me. He knows me. I know him. We work together. We're on the same team.
Yep.
That's a good place to be in life. Because I spent a lot of my younger years in the ministry trying to preach, trying to be, I'm not trying to, all I'm saying is I'm going to live my life like this. This is the example. Y'all want to talk? Great. I'm here. If not, please, by all means, me and God's trying to work me out. I'm trying to get somewhere.
Yep. And still working.
Yeah. Yeah. So whether it's I've got half my life lived or I get to be lucky and be 120, I don't care which way it goes. I just want to make sure that I know that what I did with my life, I was wasting it. And at this point, I don't want to waste it. And I waste it by getting the knowledge and not giving it back to other people.
Yep.
Yeah. So the rest of it, I said, we probably could do some other stuff and retire and not really have to work here ever again. I probably don't ever have to take another customer on. Because I'd be okay going out there and cutting grass, running a lawnmower business, so I can come here and work with my kid every day. My goal is not to please other people.
No.
My goal is to take care of the things closest around me. My world.
Your world.
The world that I'm revolving around. And I think that's the kind of mindset that you got to get into as a father. Because I said, that's the kind of mindset Christ has over you. That's the kind of mindset God had over you. You are his world.
You are his world, yeah.
And individually, each person individually, he loves each person just that much. It's unfathomable to even think. Because you have some people that you love. Like, could you imagine? I'm gonna blow your mind for just a second. No, I'm saying people you really don't like. There's some people in history that you wouldn't like.
Yeah.
But he loved even them. And you're not as bad. You're not as bad as they are. So you ain't the worst kid in the house. And I promise you, the punishment for being his child isn't as bad as you think it is. You know, when I was a kid, I always told my children this because this is the way I grew up. I knew that my dad said, listen, at about 15 years old, he goes, your friends are idiots. He didn't use those words to save his legacy. My dad didn't use those words. He said, your friends are idiots. And you choose to hang around idiots. But I know why you love them idiots. So I pray for you. But if you ever need me, you don't have to be a man down. You call me, tell me where you're at, tell me what's going. As long as you're safe. If you're not, you tell me to come get you. I'll be there. He was exercising the love of God towards me. He lived out. He lived that out.
He did.
It to me.
Dang.
And so what I do for my children, if you ever need me, all I need you to do is tell me the truth. I don't care what you did. I'm still going to love you. But if you tell me the truth, I know how to work it out for you. Or at least allow God to work it out for us. Because I'm the leader. I've raised them that this way. I've lived it. You know, when I couldn't see it in my own life, God was been working he was at it the whole time. And this is the same thing I try to teach my sons. So I'm thinking that his friends, when they come around, we'd sit around, have a good time. I see get up, I start talking to the kids. And I tell them the whole time, I need a podcast. I need to get online. I need to talk to people the same way I talk to you guys every day. Because I've seen every one of you knuckleheads change. Whether you like it or not, I've seen the seeds in your life, and I've seen you change. And all of them are doing much better. They're all in a better place. But they're young. They're going to grow some. The thing is that they're like that little tree, right?
Yeah.
We know that they're there. They're in that pot. They've been placed. They've been fed, nurtured. We know they're growing strong. It's really up to them at that point for you just to be the person who comes by and waters. Make sure there's sunlight.
Sunlight for them.
Sunlight.
Yeah.
Sunlight provided to them so that they grow. And that's what the scripture says. That's exactly what it says. And so if you're doing anything less than that, try it. But those guys, they're like that. They're going to go through a spot now. Are they going to choose to go through the small spots and find a way out? Or are they going to go through the bottom of that clay pot if there's a hole? Or are they just going to stay inside that clay pot? So maybe even up to the point that if they got so big and heavy and the storm blew them down and the pot broke, would their roots still grow down? You ever seen a tree that's done that? Trees that fallen over? The roots grow down, the tree grows over and starts going back up again. Think about that for a second. When I say be like a tree, when he says be like a tree planted by the water, that is a no-joke statement. Find that all throughout nature and see what happens to a tree. Deep roots, it's hard to break. And the thing about it is it's going to have a long life.
Long life, that's true.
It's got a long life. Its roots are deep. Everything's where it's supposed to be. And why? Was it that tree's own personal desire? But it told you to be like the tree. So what did the tree do? They let God take control. They went to the places they needed to be because that's where God designed them to be to start with. So
everything has
all of it works together. So whether we're sitting around arguing about masks or whatnot, I say I'm more interested in how are you living in your own world. Forget CNN, NSBC. I don't even know. There's so many of them. Whatever the letter alphabets are, up to and including Fox.
Yeah,
turn them off. Turn them off. Turn them all off. Look at the world that's happening exactly around you. Because the thing that's going to matter most is if the virus is so mean and nasty, which again goes back to my previous statement, if it is, and you feel like we should get vaccinated, I shouldn't get you sick. But I'm okay with dying. Isn't that the same as the baby in a womb having his own choice? Because before, you're telling me you have your right, your body, your choice to kill something else. I'm saying I'm not killing something else. I'm willing to kill me. I'm willing to take that risk to die. Because if you that mean and hateful anyway over a mask, I'd rather just not be here. You yourself you are not making it a fun place to live. Because I'm not mad at you for wearing your mask. By all means, come be my friend, wear your mask. I don't care. But your vaccination isn't your savior.
No, it's not.
And that's what you need to look at. What is your savior? What are you so afraid of? And why are you so afraid of dying today? Because you're afraid you're not getting it done tomorrow. It's because you ain't been doing and cultivating the right things in your life for a long time, and nobody's told you about it till today. Yeah, eat that.
Yeah, and that's what I like when you talk and say this, because you put them behind like what he really means, and he's right.
And then say past that, it's up to you to go pull out your Bible, find a prayer time, do everything else you have to do. Trust me, I ain't saying it's going to be the perfect thing to do, but I promise you it's better than what you're doing right now. Yeah. Breaking bread today. If you sit down on a Wednesday night and dedicate your Wednesday nights to this, and you've watched this and you've been through this, you're going to find that I would say some point in time in your life, I hope you really are experiencing what we're going through. And I hope that the information that you find is knowledgeable enough to make a different choice.
Yeah. It's like you said, at least one person. Yeah. At least that one person.
I'm looking for 100 ones. That's 1,000 people. I'm looking for 100. I'm looking for 100 sets of 100 sheep. And I use the word sheep just because
Yes,
that's what the
because
just
that's what it
because of
is.
what the scripture
What the
says.
Bible says. Yeah.
But I'm just looking for the 100 who need help. And I'm not saying it's anything other than just the introduction to saying, hey, man, I love you. You're not a man down. You're going to be okay. It's all right for wherever you've been. But I'm down to be your friend. But you have got to choose today that when we bond that friendship, you yourself are going to make a change. If not, then it's just business in my life.
Hmm.
You're just a friendship passing through. My family, the people that are closest to me, this is who I'm concerned about. And my family members, if you got a vaccination and you feel good about it, then by all means, trust me, I'm going to do it to you first before I do it to anybody else. Use your vaccination, wear your stupid mask. And if I get sick, I'm okay with it. But it ain't your choice not to tell me the same thing because you're a person who stereotypically decides to wear a mask and you may have to use one other way or not. If you think it's your right, your body, your choice, trust me. This is
This
my
is my
choice.
question. Not from me. It's just that I thought about it. What would you say if there's somebody else that think the same as us and say, "Whoa, we believe so much in Jesus and what He's doing through us. Wouldn't it Jesus? If you believe so much to Him, why would you not take the vaccine? If somebody will ask you, somebody
Because
will
it's
come to you.
personal. Because
Yeah,
it all boils down to personal. It's all choice.
yeah.
It's and
That's what
all
I.
I'm asking you is that I'm telling you where I'm at. If it was a more conclusive and it looks
Oh,
like that's the way it had to go, then all right, fine. But right now, I've had vaccines. I haven't had a vaccine. I haven't had a flu shot. God, since I worked at the steel mill, I'm not talking years. And I'm a person who any particularly we can say that word openly female who had a relationship with me, they know once a year I was going to get sick at a certain time. It lasts for a week. I felt like I was always going to die, but I never died. Get a man sick, I don't care what it is. He feel like he's going to die. He wants his mama, and that's exactly what I got every year. Are we going to get it? Are we not going to get it? What's really the truth behind it? When we start asking them kind of questions, we open up the door to conspiracies.
yep, we do.
That's when we open the door to conspiracy. What is it? Something that was in a lab, got out where it didn't belong. Somebody either has control of it or somebody doesn't have control of it. If somebody don't have control of it, then I'm going to trust God does have control of it. But if somebody does have control of it, then I'm going to trust the heart of man is in control of it.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm going to live my life accordingly. And if you don't like it, come and take it. Because Jesus said, no man lays his life down. He said, I don't lay my life down. I choose to lay my life down. And I'd rather lay my life down in faith to say that if I got it, it was just my time. Ecclesiastic says it's born. You're appointed to be born and appointed to die. Where are people not having that kind of faith in it? You feel like it's okay to take the vaccine? Great. Understand and respect the fact that I'm not. And I'm not because not to say that I'm waiting to see what happens to you. I say I'm waiting to see what happens to me. But I don't think that if you have a mask and a vaccine and you're still terrified.
And you're still terrified.
I love you, but yeah, you're stupid.
Because it's a lot of them.
To me, I think that's that. And if you're mad at me and upset, then by all means, go to the other side of the street and don't talk to me. Because I don't see enough of it conclusive. And I would dare say that, maybe we do get into conspiracies after a while. Maybe things do go the opposite way. But until they're here, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to talk about it for where it is at today. Today, if you feel like a vaccine works and you got a mask in your face, and I ask you very openly, why are you afraid to be around people who are not vaccinated? Because if you tell me what I take is to prevent me from getting sick, right? We're supposed to wear condoms to prevent STDs, but most people aren't wearing condoms. But I tell you what's never stopped. People are still having sex.
Yeah. Without.
So is your just moral compass off a few clicks and turns and degrees for where you feel like what's right and what's wrong? I'm just asking the question at that point. I don't know. I'm telling you why I feel the way I do.
Oh, yeah.
So if it works, so does abstinence. All right. Abstinences work. How about just not having sex? So if you know having sex is going to create children that you're okay killing later, ain't that the same as just taking a vaccine you know is going to kill you anyway? Because you're still afraid to die? Who's got the fear now?
Damn.
I've got nobody to respond to that. Ain't nothing in this world like Jesus. Whoever that Facebook user is that just wrote that, 842, I'd really like to see you go up there, go back to the beginning, and make sure you click on the link that says Live Yard so we can see who you are and everybody else can.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Go
don't
check
be
the
ashamed.
StreamYard. Don't be
Don't be
ashamed.
ashamed.
Yeah, don't be
Don't
ashamed.
be ashamed. You I say I love everybody. I appreciate everybody. I do everything I possibly can to help others out. There's certain people you want to help, certain people you don't, and it's not because you don't like them, but sometimes it's just better for you not to stick your hand in
Not
it and
stick in the
not.
fire.
Yeah, well, not the fire. Just
But
if you know
just
there's snakes in the pit, right? Yeah, you don't want to get bit. Yeah, don't put your hand in
don't
there.
put your hand
It hurts.
in. Yes,
It hurts.
it does hurt.
That pain, this big, that. Don't do that. You know it's going to cause you pain. Don't do it. It's that simple.
Isn't that funny?
But yet we sit around.
You do
But
it.
we sit around and we complain day after day. Like, oh well, if that would just stop, or if this, just that, and the other. I don't care if you're the adult, the child, whatever, the parent, the husband, the wife, whatever. Man, stop.
Don't do it.
Stop.
And I like what you said, the 30-day thing.
If you, again, 30 days. If you're a husband who's tired of coming home complaining to your wife for doing laundry, be the man of your house. Do your laundry, because that laundry ain't above you. Because she needs to see you be the man up, so she knows how to help you when you're the man down. You ain't leading by example. You ain't doing nothing. You failing.
You felt. Yeah.
Fail 100%. You know why? Because then the kids see that. And what your kids see. Your kid's going to see you love your spouse. If you and the spouse are not together that created that child, make sure your kid sees that you love them. They don't got to care that you loved or not loved where they came from. They know that the love that was made to make them to start with is still alive because it's in you, shown towards them. It's hard to deal with somebody else who hates you. I know my first wife hates my guts. and, you know, I can't, till this day, I'll never be able to understand why, but I forgive her for it. You know, it is what it is. I can't change any of it, you know. But I know that when I had my kids, she was the girl I chose to have kids with, and not many are lucky enough to say that. Like, this was my choice and decision. I'm thankful for them. Yeah, you know, just I like that. Like, when God created life, He wanted it from a certain source. You realize that when God created life, He didn't go to all the soil in the earth, or did He? You're not really certain where He got it from, but wherever He got that soil and dirt from, that He made everything from, and that He was already happy with in all them days, and He made man, and then He breathed life into it. Shouldn't you be exhaling life?
He said he's Levi.
Levi, I love you, son. I have Levi. We'll get Levi out here sometime too. This kid's a real trip. He's talented though. He's talented, and without him, I wouldn't have little Kenley. I say I'm real thankful. My life could have went a lot of other ways. Like, I realized God was protecting my life when I didn't know how to protect my life on my own.
He's always been there.
Yeah,
That's what I tell people.
Always.
You didn't live. We leave him. He didn't leave us.
Yeah. No.
We chose to live.
And He knows you. Like I said, He knows you. He loves you. He cares about you. And at the end of the day, is how much more are you emulating who your father really is? Just like a little kid. A little kid sees their dad and they want to be like daddy and right? Even if you separate a child from their father, they're still a part of their father. Even if you're not around that child, you're still that child's father. What you do, live in life, like I said, again, you go back to your chakras or energies or call it whatever you want to. But your life you're living as a father is literally providing coverage in your life, or it's creating havoc in your children's life. And we're not at a spot where we're ready to. I said, I think we're at a spot where we're ready to sit down and talk about this. I think we got to get to that spot. I think if you're not there, we need to find a way to get us there.
That's very true.
Yeah, because we need to talk. We need to talk about the changes that are happening in the world around us. Because again, you're getting beat from all sides, right? Toxic and masculinity or whatever. Then you're a masker, anti-mask. Maybe you're a great dad and you're a mask guy with a vaccine. I probably know a few of you. Heck, I've probably been to your houses. I've probably been to birthday parties. You've been for our birthday parties. You know, I got some people that I have a lot of love and care for. But if they're at a spot where they feel like this, again, the mask, no mask, and they don't want to be around me, that hurts.
Hell yeah.
That hurts. We're better than that.
We are better.
We're better than that. Right? Because what happens? Now you get emotionally charged people who are going to vote for emotionally charged controllers. Right? Because why? Everybody loves bad stuff.
You're right on that.
Everybody loves bad stuff, and if you're allowing that bad stuff around you, then you're part of the problem. The only way to fix it is to get yourself pulled out of it.
Hmm.
You know, you're this. I guess in a better concept, like you're this beautiful flower. I guess if we could in a garden, covered up by weeds, right? You've grown through a lot of things, and maybe you felt like you weren't recognized by the person tending the garden the whole time, but you've made it up. You made it through, and now you're there, and that person just says, "Hey, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get away from all these thorns and thistles and everything else in your life. But today, it's your choice. You can either stay over here where you're still struggling and fighting, or I'd love to bring you inside the house, put you in a little potted plant, help you get big and strong, take you outside, find that good, clean dirt, keep breathing life into you every day. Because that's who you are.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's who you are. You know? And you could go on with other people who say, well, if you've got a spirit and a soul and people believe in the afterlife, this, that, and the other. Well, last time I checked, every religion says that their afterlife is pretty good. That they're going to go to some great, mighty place where their God is going to love them. Am I not wrong?
Says.
I mean, Egyptians, like somewhere along the lines where they were killing people, stabbing them, throwing them into fires, or whatever else they've been doing to serve their God. They've done this in hopes that where they would end up when their fear was over and they were dead. Why were they so afraid of being dead? If being dead is actually the entrance to the next level of life, closer to God, or whatever you guys think out there think you're believing, I'm asking you, why are you so afraid? And I'm telling you, what I live and feel in me tells me to not be afraid. Because I can't control everything around me.
Can't.
I'm only in charge of the garden God's given me.
That's it.
I was Joe Dirt. I was a garden man. You got to dig it. Anyway, 8:53. So, real quick, is anybody still on? Anybody got any questions? Anybody still watching? Or have I talked you all to sleep at this point? I got three viewers right now. Who are the three viewers? Write your name down. Send me a question. Let's talk about something real quick. You got a couple of minutes, and I'm going to get on about my night. Nope.
Nobody's putting
nothing.
Don't be afraid to ask a question. You're good.
Afraid.
We'll give you
who. Which of the? Can you even see who the three viewers are? Can we
see
those?
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you who
if
if
Facebook would let you see that.
Actually, if I could watch it on I bet you I can watch it on this side and let me see who the viewers are.
It's probably Keenan.
I think so.
And now, if you mention
comments, okay, Jacob Adams, thank you so much, buddy. I love you. Like I keep telling you, I'm praying for you. If the struggle wasn't so high, if there wasn't something special about you, bud, you wouldn't be in such a dangerous spot all the time. Like Jesus really does love you. You're gonna have to find that. Yeah, and sometimes it means getting away from where you are. You might have to do that.
We have two extra viewers now.
You need to get that. Well, one of them's me. It says Keenan's watching.
Now we got 6.
All right. If you're on there now, if you clicked on for the 6 that's on there, why don't you do yourself a favor and go ahead and share that for a minute and see if we can't pick a couple extra viewers up on it.
Yeah, and I know, I missed the beginning. It's okay. I can go back and watch it again. Just
I see this. I'm going to go back and read some of the comments real quick. So Dean says, we're always a man down when we work together. Of course we were, Dean. You were the man. Love that guy. He good dude. Trina, Mama T, I see you watching. Is that you? Can we get a hello? See if she's going to get on there. Trina means a lot to me. We served on the Little League board together, hung out at the baseball fields when the kids were little.
Oh, man.
She ended up meeting my cousin. They ended up falling in love with each other. And
they married each other?
Yeah, they married each other. I love them both, right? They're a rowdy couple. They're not really a rowdy couple. They're good people. But yeah, they've been married for a couple of years. And when the storms hit, and we lost all the water and power and stuff, thank God that they had a home. So we we spent some time over there with them, sitting by the fire, being a family. We're all so busy doing our own things that we forget to be a family. We forget to take time out.
Isn't
So
that funny that
yeah,
we forget those things when we don't see that picture, but then,
yeah.
then later on you really want to be, and it's probably too late for them because they're like, oh, well, you weren't here.
Well, and to say there again, it's never too late.
And yeah, and
It's
it's
never
never
too
too
late
late.
for you to be the person that makes a change in all your relationships. It's
And
never
that's
too
right.
late. It's never too late. And whether they be for good choices or even better choices, or knowing that you shouldn't be doing bad things, you have that choice today. You know, that's
Mm.
I think that's an ultimate. That's ultimate because I don't. I feel really good. This the past couple of months. I don't go home and I may have days where I feel defeated, like I didn't get enough done or this, that, and the
Oh
other.
yeah,
But that's part of being a man. You wake up the next day and do it again, day
bust it
in, day
again,
out,
day in
right?
and day
And
out.
even then, overcoming fear. I've always wanted to do this. I'm gonna wrap up with that. I've always wanted to do this. I really appreciate you, like I said, extending your hand out and allowing me to be here. We thank you for coming to the shop, helping out, and everything else. And we're really looking forward to having some of these summer events as they come up. Having my people meet your people, masked or unmasked, however they feel, as
Oh
long as
yeah,
we're on a chill, you know. We end up in a spot where maybe some good networking and
oh yeah. We need that
community community
community. Yeah,
community based of people come together and get something done. So
yeah.
uh,
We do need to help each other out on that stuff, especially we got 5 viewers now.
we got 5 years now, so we're getting to the end.
Yeah, we're going to
We
the
don't
end.
see anybody on the share side, so
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Oh yeah.
We'll get there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for taking your time out listening to me ramble today. I hope you found it worthwhile. If you did, again, like, click, share. We do broadcast live from here at 1111 Katy Land Drive in Old Katy, Texas.
Okay,
And
Texas.
shop doors are usually always open. If you, again, I'm on here. You can find me. You can find me on Facebook. Add me as a friend. If you find yourself in a spot where you feel like you got nobody else to talk to, I'm going to tell you that I'm willing to be that 1 out of 99 for you to talk to. So don't ever feel like you don't have a friend um, or somebody that you need to talk to when things get hard. Because I've been there. I've been through a lot of it, and I promise you it gets better. If you
Mm.
just hold on. The storms pass, the water recedes, right? And the only point in time that life really gets too bad and dry, then you be smart enough to water the plant, take your own life and your own soul, and to take it to a place where you can get watered, cleaned up, and back to healthy growth. So
Hmm.
all those things are said. Anything else, bud, to add? Looking
No,
forward to
man,
next week.
I'm looking forward to next week, and I'm just very blessed to be here, guys. And I hope that you actually watch the beginning because you see me. If even though I'm not talking a lot, I love getting the message and listening because I can apply it to others. I can apply it to somebody that I know that it needs that. Even myself with a lot of
So
things that you said, dude, a
yeah,
lot. Like that's why I was mind blowing. I was like,
yeah. Take
damn,
a moment to take it all in.
damn,
It's a
yeah.
lot. It's a lot to eat considering we didn't have nothing to eat here.
No, no, no. But that's why I went home. When you called me, I went home and ate.
Yeah,
And
there.
I was like, but the way that we get into here, that's the number one thing I learned to listen because it's not only gonna help me. How can I spread this love to somebody else that I know they need it, or somebody else that is watching right now? They couldn't watch,
Yeah,
but they're gonna watch it replay, or somebody share that, and somebody can you see it
yeah,
because they go over there and they
yeah.
share like,
And I'd like to help our people, viewers, and friends understand that we're trying to grow. We're not trying to. I'm not trying to grow your bank account. I'm not saying go do what I did and you're going to have an ultimate wonderful shop, right? What I am saying is though is if you make the the spirit choices, the life choices, the mental choices, all those things combined. You put those things together and put God at the front of it. Because whether you like it or not, He's the one who's been in front of it all along.
oh,
And if you've gotten this far and you're not dead,
just
you're on the right side of the dirt,
yeah,
right? You're still
you're
on the
right.
breathing side. You're still on the life side of it, and He's got power of life and death both. So let's take that moment to again extend that out to others around you, um, and just live it. Just it only takes one. If you're one person, well, I'm one, you're one, he's one. We're a man down, but we got some friends online.
Oh yeah,
You know,
and we're still growing.
you can't expect for everybody to change,
No,
but if just one person changes,
that's power.
if only one person changes of 100
That's
of
power.
your Facebook friends,
Yeah,
only one
only one.
in every 100, that leave me like 10, 11, 12 new friends of people going the same direction.
And remember that one person is gonna change somebody else.
They're going to
too.
change somebody else.
And that other one is
Yeah.
gonna change somebody else
So it's a lot easier to start with one than it is to go after the whole 100.
for the whole 100.
Realize that too.
Yeah,
It was a lot easier to chase one than it was to chase them all.
that one person can do so much for you.
But every one of them were still just one.
Just one.
It was at that point in time that sheep was that important, and it needed help. It doesn't say that he didn't constantly go back 70 times 7 and go keep chasing it, or 10 times 10, or however you want to look at it,
Yeah.
and keep going and getting the other sheep because they weren't listening. He was just saying that if you lost that sheep that you love so much, because you love all of your sheep, you know yourself you can't lose a sheep. He's talking to a herder. He said, whatever happens, whether it's something going to come against it, it's going to be a coyote or a snake or a lion or whatever. It doesn't matter what's going to come against that sheep. All those sheep matter just as much. And sometimes you got to go get that one, but at any point in time, you could be that one sheep.
That's true.
So,
Very true.
guys, thank you so very much. Wonderful time. I think next week, I don't know what we're going to have to eat. If it's not something from Ray, I think I'm going to get something catered in for us. I think
he said he wanted to do the barbacoa. Remember?
barbacoa. Okay, well, let's do the barbacoa.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to make it ante up. We'll keep an update on the page. Say
definitely.
make sure we say how he's doing. Say food. I know we have a few people interested in coming to see us. So I want to check the calendar. It looks like that day, if my mom can get here a day earlier. If not, maybe we'll have a special Friday night broadcast, or maybe an extra Sunday night broadcast if my mom's here, because like I say, we are going to be having an open door church service. Not from nothing else than just to meet some people, stand together in one accord, maybe sing some praise songs, pray for each other if that's what needs to be. I'm really not certain on how that's all going to go, but I think I got a good idea of what the kind of things we're going to see come out of it. So, and that's what matters at this point. So,
yeah. Thank you guys for being here with us on episode 4 of Breaking 4, episode 4, man. Yeah,
it's just 4. We skipped week 2.
It would have been 5th, but we only skipped one.
But the 4th.
See, we were gonna skip this one too, but we didn't. Look at that. We ain't skipping none.
We ain't skipping. We're not, unless it's a scheduled stop point.
Yeah.
Then I think other than that, I think we're.
Yeah, like you really, you got to get a car that day.
And even at that, there's gonna be times where I'm gonna take a vacation too.
Oh yeah, that's
y'all
true.
Y'all can keep it down. Y'all can do it without. Y'all can do it
without. Yeah. We all go in the same vacation. And we take everything
I like that thought even better.
Breaking bread in Hawaii.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I shouldn't say individually.
Yeah.
We'll have to take vacation together.
Big Ray over there.
Yeah.
Scaring the people.
All right. That being said, you ready to go?
I'm ready. Thank you guys. God bless you.
Let me say a prayer for them.
Yes.
We'll get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day. We thank you for this time. We thank you for the daily bread of life that you give us every day. We thank you for the breath of life that you breathe into us, that you keep us moving forward and functioning, even when we feel like we can't. We thank you for looking over us. So from a child to his father, I just want to say thank you for always watching after me and knowing what I need, even though that there's things that I like. You give me the things that I need and the things that I want, and it's always your desire to see me to be better, and it's my desire to do better for you. So I pray that we hope and encourage others to do the same, and as they go along their week until they return, may they be safely in your spirit and guided until they come back. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Thank you, guys.